So Maki has now gone into full Itachi mindset where it's just take out everybody. And I guess normally, just deciding to reset the clan wouldn't be the best option for Maki, but I mean, like, it doesn't. I would assume that she's only going after people that are in aggressive opposition to her, because I don't really see her just like murdering people just all over the place just because. So I would safely assume that she is just going after specific targets that they get in her way. And I mean, like, they tried to kill her, so I mean, at that point, it's all just fair. So I mean, what comes to him comes to him. But the chapter, I mean, it was very, very heavily of just like her tearing through people. And on the color page, I didn't know that she was missing an ear. That's unfortunate, on the side that got burned by Jogo. So obviously, in the previous chapter, Maki lost Mai died so she could give her sister essentially like her full capability, if I'm understanding that right, because they were fraternal twins. Their curse technique and ability got split up. So now Maki has cursed energy on top of her extreme physical prowess, like set. I believe, unless I'm getting that wrong. But you have like all the guys that were like the higher ups in the Zenin clan. They're like, ordered out all the forces to go after Maki. Now that Maki has killed her father, he was a highly ranked person within their organization. They're pretty surprised that she was able to get through it. But it just becomes down to all these dudes who are now like being like, oh, I'll be the one to stop Maki. I'll stop Maki. I'll get in her way and we'll take her down. It's like, no, you guys are gonna get absolutely demolished. Like, the first guy that goes out instantly gets his hands cut off, and then just that's it. Like, she just kind of skips over him, cuts his head, and then the dude's done. So she's very like set into this. Like, not only again do they try and kill her, but they everything. These actions resulted in the death of her sister. I remember when I was seeing the information come out on the chapter where it was saying that Maki or that Mai was gonna die, and it made it seem like she was just going to die to give her sister like her powers and sword, instead of like I was so confused. But I like how it was done in a way that it's like she knew that they were kind of screwed, and it was the only way out, at least for one of them. So I mean, clearly Maki is not gonna be. She's not gonna be very happy about that. I mean, she's displaying it here as well. She's just slaughtering people. Again, I would assume that Maki wouldn't go after random innocents. Like, if there was just some random member of the Zenin clan standing there, not trying to fight back, not trying to do anything, just kind of like walked in and I don't know. I'd be very curious about that. Like, if she would be willing to turn on somebody who had zero ill intentions towards her. I don't think so. She doesn't seem like that kind of character, but all these dudes are still attacking her. You had, like, one dude who made, like, these giant, like, rock hands. That was actually pretty impressive. Like, a lot of characters aren't crazy with power stuff within Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, for like the big people, yeah, but when we see a lot of more grounded individuals, they have more of like a tricky ability or something that's like a lot of requirements are made to use like higher end stuff. But like this guy just makes these giant, I would assume, rock hands and like slam it, just try and slam into them. And Maki's now against like the three top forces of three members of the top forces, the Hay or whatever, however it's pronounced, within the Zenin clan. Now you being the leader, but she pretty much just runs through these three guys. You have like the rock hands guy. I would assume that the really big dude, this looks like he's a brute force dude, because he makes like these fists that he like seems to kind of just like carry down wherever he attacks. I mean, really, like their abilities aren't that special. Like even in comparison, like she's essentially got a cursed engine jet sword, whereas this guy's just throwing punches, one dude's just kind of locking movement, where that guy's actually pretty useful, because that's one of those support abilities that is so good, just because it gives you such a good opening move, or a good move to use to find an opening rather. And it would just come down to like, who are your attacker guys, and you have big rock hands and big punching hands. Like if they had somebody with like a dangerous hacks, like they would have been good. But at least that guy, it's funny because like I like that guy ability wise, the dude who like locked her in place. But it seems like that he died while using his powers because she was so strong, and she was messing back. Like you see like the eyes from his power like start to shatter. So I would assume that has some form of relationship to to his to his stature, and clearly he's in damage. I'm guessing he's dead. It'd be really weird if Maki didn't just kill him, because I thought it was just kind of funny how I actually liked his powers, and I mean like his design too was pretty fair. Like the small weird mohawk guy looked kind of eh. The really big dude looked pretty badass, but unfortunately he didn't make it out, and Maki's carrying his head. But I like that the support power guy seems to have died thinking that they did it. So at least he had something. And now it's going against Naoya. This is the fight that I like, my main focus that I wanted to see for Maki, but at the same time, like, it's happening already, and it's weird because it's known that Jujutsu Kaisen is going to end within the next year and a half to 2 years. So seeing stuff like move at this pace is like, I can understand when it's starting to get into like not like endgame territory, but like closer near those end steps for specific character arcs and personalities and stories. And Naoya, the thing that really is weird, like I kind of wish Naoya was introduced way earlier to kind of build up for this moment, because really we only just got him, and the only thing that we've gotten really about him is that he's an asshole. Like he could have, like, there's Kill la Kill had a bad guy of a similar kind of stature as Naoya. It was I don't remember the guy's setup, but it was like the prime minister's son. It was a kind of similar, not like the same thing, but you know what I mean. It was this kind of dude who's just gonna try and take like his dad's role and stuff like that, but he's got all this leverage because of it. He had a lot longer to go, so it built up a little bit better. I mean, now, yeah, like, he might not die here. I'm kind of hoping he's not, but I mean, like, Maki's in a perfect position to kind of kill him. But I don't know, maybe he'll have to run, and then it'll be like something he wants to get revenge during the culling game or something. Like, their whole interaction, I'm very curious about. I'm really hoping that he doesn't just die within the next chapter or two, because again, there's not a lot built up to him. And when it comes to like series, I understand the mindset of like sometimes like a character death can just be like not as impactful, and it could just be a character you weren't really attached to that wasn't too built up, and it was just like a death kind of to show vulnerability and like ideas like that. I personally prefer, I actually really do prefer the more kind of like mainstream shonen setup where it builds up to like a death, so it just has huge impact. I can understand both sides, but obviously the one I prefer is probably like the I would say the less realistic, but I mean, like, is it with you have characters with like crazy powers and stuff? But I don't know. Either way, they've been killing off some of these side characters, and I just haven't really, like, it hasn't really hit me. Like, it doesn't really bother me that much. Like, I was, like, I like Maki. I was never too attached to Maki. I didn't care about Mai at all. So, like, Mai's death was just kind of more like, oh, that's unfortunate. Kind of, I don't know. It's not as in hype territory. Whereas, like, Nanami, like, really got me, because that was a character that was built up, and I didn't see his death coming. But if Naoya, the thing that'll really confuse me is Naoya could have been a bad guy that had been built up prior to this. So, when he dies, it'd be more... It would feel more of a victory for Maki. It would have way more like positive impact. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't die here. Again, I'm hoping he doesn't die. He escapes, and maybe he tries to do something in the culling game, because it would make this more of an introductory portion for his character, or at least like what sets his stuff into motion. Because again, other than that, if he dies here, what did we get from him? He was a jerk, and he lost to Choso, and he had to get his ass saved by Yuta. I mean, he doesn't have to be a huge villain, but I feel like he should be, just based off of like where he's aligned up for Maki and where he's at in the Zenin clan. It's just one of those things. He was never like built up much prior, but it's one of those things that's like when you finally get to him, it's a bit of an assumption, but it's like it's an understandable assumption for a character like in his position, his setup to to have higher value. So we'll see exactly where that goes. It was like, it was a fast read chapter. You can see where some of the, I would guess, I don't know if it's just illness or maybe just like being tired for Akutami. I'm hoping Akutami takes a week off and just kind of like rests and recovers. I know it's like, the thing is, like, it sucks when you get like unfinished pages, but you gotta understand, like, they're unfinished for whatever, stuff's going behind the scenes. So, other than that, though, comment below, thumbs up the video, friend the like button, subscribe, and check out my other videos. Friend that, I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed, and thank you all for listening. Bye.